A prominent figure in the music industry, long celebrated for building an empire spanning records, fashion, and media, is currently navigating a challenging legal battle from behind bars. His attorneys have recently submitted a formal appeal challenging the basis of his incarceration and the length of his sentence, arguing that the judicial process overstepped in ways that undermine the jury's decisions. The appeal centers on accusations that the presiding judge effectively overrode the jury's verdicts by incorporating elements from charges on which the defendant was acquitted. Specifically, the legal documents contend that the sentence imposed was disproportionately severe, influenced heavily by allegations that the jury had rejected. This, the filing argues, resulted in a punishment far exceeding what is typical for convictions on the remaining counts. The defendant was ultimately convicted on charges related to facilitating prostitution across state lines, but cleared of more serious accusations involving coercion, exploitation, and organized criminal activity. Despite these acquittals, the appeal claims that the judge's sentencing rationale drew upon the dismissed charges, portraying the defendant's actions in a light that contradicted the jury's findings. Attorneys described the sentence as unusually harsh when compared to similar cases, noting that other individuals convicted of comparable offenses, often involving more vulnerable victims or ongoing operations, received lighter penalties. They emphasized that their client did not operate in such a manner, yet faced what they termed the most stringent outcome on record for analogous convictions. A key point in the appeal is the assertion that much of the evidence presented during the trial would not have been permissible if the case had been limited solely to the convicted charges from the outset. By considering this broader evidence during sentencing, the judge is accused of prioritizing personal interpretations over the jury's role in determining facts. The filing requests swift action from the appellate court, including an order for the defendant's immediate release pending review. Alternatively, it seeks either a full acquittal on the remaining counts or a remand for resentencing under guidelines that respect the jury's acquittals. This development comes after a highly publicized trial that captivated public attention, featuring testimony from various associates and detailing personal relationships over the years. The case highlighted complexities in proving intent and coercion, ultimately leading to the mixed verdict that acquitted on the gravest charges while convicting on narrower transportation-related offenses. Following the conviction, the defendant was transferred to a federal facility to begin serving his term, which projects a release in the coming years. However, the appeal aims to disrupt this timeline, arguing that continued detention under the current sentence constitutes an injustice. Legal experts might view this appeal as a standard post-conviction strategy, particularly in high-profile cases where sentencing disparities can be scrutinized. The emphasis on the judge acting as an additional fact-finder raises questions about the balance of power between juries and judges in federal proceedings. The defendant's career has been marked by immense success, innovating within hip-hop and expanding into entrepreneurship that influenced culture broadly. This legal ordeal represents a stark contrast to his previous public persona as a mogul and philanthropist. Supporters of the appeal argue that adhering strictly to the jury's verdicts ensures fairness and prevents judicial overreach. Critics of the original sentence might agree that incorporating acquitted conduct can lead to perceptions of double jeopardy, even if legally permissible in some contexts. As the appeal progresses, it will likely involve detailed examinations of trial transcripts, evidentiary rulings, and comparative sentencing data. The outcome could set precedents for how acquitted conduct factors into federal sentencing guidelines. In the meantime, the defendant remains incarcerated, with his team vigorously advocating for relief. This latest filing underscores the ongoing nature of legal fights in complex cases, where post-trial motions can significantly alter final resolutions. The music industry has watched this saga unfold, with implications for how personal conduct intersects with professional legacies. Regardless of the appeal's success, the case has sparked broader discussions on accountability, power dynamics, and the criminal justice system's handling of celebrity defendants. Attorneys have framed their arguments meticulously, citing specific judicial statements and contrasting them with the verdict. They portray the sentencing as punitive beyond the scope of proven guilt, seeking to realign the punishment with the actual convictions. This appeal represents a critical juncture, potentially offering a path to freedom or at least a reduced term. The court's response will be closely monitored, as it could influence similar challenges in other high-stakes prosecutions. Ultimately, the pursuit of justice in such matters involves layered interpretations of law, evidence, and intent. The defendant's team remains committed to overturning what they view as an erroneous application of judicial discretion.